All right. Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Chelle with Dr. Test Prep. Thank you for coming today. Right now, we're going to focus on Khan Academy, Unit 4, Lesson 2. I will tell you, Orion, my cat, is on my desk. I've been at work all day and I feel guilty, so she might come into picture, like right now. Basically, what we're looking at is we're looking at the harder examples. Oh my goodness, kitty cats. If you have any tips about how to stop having your cat go on your desk besides closing the door, I would love to know. All right, so moving on, what we're going to be doing is this is a great example. I intentionally did not have these multiple choice because I want to make sure that you learn how to use the slider tool. As a reminder, when you click the description to get the calculator, this is what is going to come up. So you need to click choose assessment, and then you need to click College Board, and then start practice. If you don't do this, then all the features that I'm showing you will not necessarily work. So it's super important that you do that. Okay, this is a great example of using the slider tool. These are not multiple choice, so we can't plug in like we did in the other one, but the slider tool is definitely going to help us. So we have if 6 to the x equals that, what is the value of x? Now, hopefully you took my advice in the last video and you looked at Khan Academy's notes. And so you would have learned that this is the same thing as saying 6 cubed, and this to the 5th root means it goes like this. Like that's 1/5. And then because this is raised to a power, our answer is 6 to the 3/5. But let me show you how we're going to do this. First, we're going to type in this, and I have not figured out how to do like the 5th root. So you will have to at least know that 6 cubed has to go to the 1/5 root. If it was a cube root, it would be 1/3. If it was a 7th root, it would be 1/7. I haven't figured out how to put like anything other than the square feature here. And I have tried, and if you know and how to do it, let me know. All right, so anyway, we're going to put 6 cubed, and we're going to raise that to the 1/5 power, okay? And we get an ugly number. That's what we want. We want an ugly number. Now, I'm going to do 6, and if we do x, we're not going to get the slider. Haven't ever seen the sliders for x and y, so we need to pick another letter of the alphabet. I'm going to pick M for Michelle, and then we want to add a slider. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to move the slider until we get 2.903. So if I move the slider up, look at how the numbers get bigger. 17, 21, 36, 88, 369. So clearly I'm not going in the right direction. So now I'm going to move the slider feature backwards. And now I have 6. That's good. 3.5. 2.93. Holy moly. So my answer is 0.6. But the thing is that we don't typically ever do exponents as decimals. So now that I know my M value by using the slider is 0.6, on my next line, I'm going to type 0.6. And look what happens. It gives me this little fraction button, and it tells me that 0.6 equals 3/5, which is the same answer we got when we used the exponent tools. I mean, the slider tool is amazing. If you don't, you need to learn. I should make a video of exactly what you need to learn. I'll do that after I record all these ones. All right, we're going to use the slider tool for number 5. Are you surprised? I'm not surprised. We're going to click the edit, delete all, or their settings, delete all. And this is the same concept, except instead of us doing, actually, let's see what happens if we do that. Let's do 24 to the x. There's our graph. And then we're going to do 4 to the x times a to the x. And guess what we're adding? A slider tool. So we need to make the blue graph go on top of the red graph. Now, if I go backwards, look how the blue goes further away and disappears. So I know I'm not going backwards. So I'm going to keep going forwards, higher, 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 higher. Not quite there yet. And now you're like, well, I think it's close. But if we zoom in, we can see that it's not there yet. And we want it to be exact. So I'm going to keep going higher, keep going higher, higher, higher. So close, so close. And there it is, perfect. Okay. Now, if you noticed in my other video, I've shown how you can make the lines thicker. So sometimes what I tell kids to do is if you hold long press this and maybe make this say like 6, look how big that red line is. Now it's so much easier to see that that blue line was right in the middle at 6. And I would suspect that, and if it is going to be a fill-in, I highly doubt it's going to be something like 0.37412. I think it's going to be a fraction or an integer, be my guess. All right, let's look at number 6. Settings tool, delete all. If a to the 0.5 equals 4, what is the value of a? You're right, slider tool. Whoops, 0.5. Okay, add a slider. All we're going to do is keep moving the slider until we get 4. If I move backwards, I get decimals. If I move forwards, I get bigger numbers and bigger numbers. 1.8, 1.9, 2.0, 2.3, 2.4, 2.6. Oh my gosh, I got to 10. It doesn't go any higher. That's when you can click here and say, well, instead of stopping at 10, I want you to stop at 20. And you can do a slider tool from 10 to 20. And then we'll keep going until we get a 4. No 4 yet. Closer, closer, closer. Boom. 16.06. Now we know we're not going to get something crazy, so let's delete the 0.06. 4 is the answer. So what's the value of a? 16. So the whole point is the slider tool rocks. You need to learn how to use the slider tool. It'll make your life so much easier. Remember, math has evolved to knowing how to use math tools to do math reasoning. Like that wasn't always the case. So what you should do now is you should go back to Khan Academy. You should do Unit 4, Lesson 2, the practice questions. Using the tricks I just taught you, you will be amazed at how much better that you do. In our next video, we're going to be looking at how we can do Desmos operations, Unit 4, Lesson 3. And we will be on page 62 of my book. This is Dr. Chelle. Thank you for coming. Bye, guys.